afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to 1 vs 1 on crossing in the woods in the south. It is Chtholly, fighting for king and country, the Commonwealth. Rolling out here with the 11th Armored Division versus the north. It is Morsif, aka Lenfer, fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Forming up the, let's just say 17th Luftwaffe Felddivision here with Defensive Doctrine, sneaking out some Osttruppen. We got half-tracks, we got scout, well, actually double half-track bulletins plus Panzerfaust there, versus, well, Lend Lease Assault Regiment with infantry, machine gun, anti-tank gun bulletins there from Chtholly, moving eastwards there. Section's going to move up to back up there, third section on the way there. So we got Osttruppen MD42 started there from Lenfer, second Osttruppen squad there arriving as well, quickly filling out the field with infantry. Versus the British, the Osttruppen strategies can work out if you know how to handle them, since that way you can basically just quickly pump out as much infantry on the field as the British can theoretically, since again, the thing about the Wehrmacht versus the British can't just normally have to build the infantry company, meaning your infantry is significantly delayed, but Osttruppen can very much compensate for that, actually allowing you to not only gain parity with the British on the field, but actually in some cases catch out of them, because ultimately your Osttruppen are cheap, and that way you can actually build up larger numbers faster than the British get out of their sections. So, unless of course they really want to, I guess. So that's sort of a thing there to keep in mind about Osttruppen and British, though again, it's not for everyone. Again, Osttruppen can be a bit trickier to manage if you don't sort of know the full parameters of the Osttruppen by heart. Still, worth pointing out, we got sections heading out here for Chtholly. We got a Osttruppen out there for Lenfer, and the 17th, actually 16th Luftwaffe Division. The 17th was around, I think, Britain or Baton, facing the Americans. 16th was the one sort of situated around Caen, I guess. Anyway, 74 setting up. Awesome on them here on the section there, doing some light damage as they're trying to lay down sandbags. Fourth section on the way there for Chtholly. Bit of skirmishing, also need to be careful. Bit of skirmishing there. Fourth section halfway down there for Chtholly. So there's going to be a lot of infantry on both sides in the early game. We'll have to see if Lenfer there goes full in. Nope, he's taking up there. Triple Osttruppen, 1 MD42 can certainly also work out then. Certainly, I think, get the job done for him as far as he needs to. Osttruppen in this section, they're being overwhelmed by sheer numbers. Osttruppen aggressively attacking. Good play there by Lenfer. Fuel also secured. MD42 falls back up the Osttruppen. And we got here Chtholly's lines collapsing in the east. At the same time, Osttruppen squad, they're going for the car point. Rather than trying to engage around the fuel point, this is a much better move, since you generally want to draw the Brits out from whatever position they're dug into. Otherwise, you're usually going to, face a lot of resistance. I mean, they're really good once they dug in, but again, just to force them to attack you. You know what you're doing, by sort of constantly switching about, hitting their weak spots. You can usually that way sort of draw them out into better engagement for yourself, and that way sort of whittle them down. That's usually how I want to do. And there we go. Lenfer making great use of the MD42 there. Thumbs up. Flexible, light usage over there. Not just sticking about to one spot and forgetting about it, which is sort of, shall say, the beginner intermediary move with the MD42, just parking it down and thinking, that's it. I don't need to do any more. More higher ranked players who knows how to use the MD42 will usually actively use and support the infantry when necessary. I mean, of course, sometimes if a point is really threatened, they'll leave the machine gun there, but it's not, shall we say, the default setting for the higher ranked player. So, little note there. MD42 have been flanked by the second, got Osttruppen moving up, already repositioned the machine gun. They're very good. In this case, he's actually using the MD42 as bait, allowing the Osttruppen to close in the section. In fact, more Osttruppen in there, so nice work here. Ultimately, he is forced to retreat, but even then, it spared the Osttruppen squad there a lot of damage, meaning the engagement that's going to follow up, he's going to be much more easily won here for Lenfer. So in this regard, sometimes, even the machine gun, it's not going to do something directly itself. It can still be an idea to keep it about, because your opponent will naturally shoot at it. They're not going to ignore it, because that way, they're going to get suppressed pretty fast. So if you know what, you got enough infantry nearby, you can use the MD42 at least for a brief while. Of course, be careful not to stay. So that way, just save your infantry from damage, since even you're going to treat the machine gun either way. I mean, at least use it to absorb some shots that might allow the troops to win here. In this case, though, Chtholly moving in more infantry, rather turn things around here for Morsif or Lenfer. But, I feel like the idea there was very sound. Like to make a nice comedy up, 2-2 on the way there. No Panzer Grenadier here, at least not yet. As for Chtholly, we got taken there, but nothing further happening there either. Grabbing the Western nations, 2-2 almost done there for Lenfer. My apologies there. I'll wait like the Panzerspeerwagen there, almost done for Morsif, aka Lenfer. There we go, arriving to the front line. 16th Luftwaffe Felddivision will not have them. They would have some Stugs actually, which was a bit interesting thing there about the Luftwaffe Field Division, at least the initial ones. They did actually have their own complement of Stugs, and most other infantry divisions they're not. Though, admittedly, the first Luftwaffe Field Divisions were also very much smaller. They were like half the size of an infantry division. which was never quite entirely sure how they expected to make sense, but rather the problem was also then the army basically operate them like a full infantry division rather than technically the half they were, and also resulted in a lot of them getting beaten up on the eastern front. Anyways, 2-2 moving in, engaging the section out in the open, tearing into them with the autocannon, the coaxial machine gun there, MG4 coming up there. In this case, of course, the 2-2 served nicely as with the spotter before the MG42 draws attention, and then the MG42 sort of let him do whatever he wants to. So, nice play again there by Lenfer, good use of the MG42 in conjunction with other units. Again, I feel like with a very much critical use of the MG42 there is very important. And we got the half-track out here for Chtholly. Kind of like the upgrade, of course, here with the Quad AA mount, since that is very popular. Able to lay down some heavy firepower against any Germans. Section there being routed by the 2-2, Osttruppen coming up here. Will Lenfer be ready for it? I've certainly seen players just get absolutely decimated because they weren't ready for the fast half-track from the British player. So we'll have to see if Lenfer falls into that, but then again, this is Lenfer, a man who can surprise most players with an anti-tank conscript squad, so I suspect he's not going to be completely be caught with his lederhosen down his ankles on this one. A few telemines that could be an idea, but then again, he might have the plants. I mean, he's got a lot of ammunition, so telemines would be a very good investment here for Lenfer. Very good. Not quite ready yet there with the missions for the upgrade. There we go. When adding the anti-air package. Section moving in, pushing back the Pioneers. We've also got bolted sections up there for Chtholly, increasing the firepower there of the men and the durability. Moving in aggressively, catching the section in a pretty bad spot, tearing into an autocannon and coaxial machine gun, leaving Chtholly's intersection in a bad spot. Pack 40 falling up here, likely in response to the half-track. Might have spotted it briefly. Or just assume, you know, with a 2-2 out, it's not going to be good against whatever light vehicles Chtholly will be going for anyways, unless it gets a bunch of them. So going for a pack 40 that way support, I think, is, you know, the sensible decision. Here in the East Osttruppen the section there, no grenades, so they have any easy way of quickly flashing them out. Of course, in a prolonged engagement, they're going to win anyways against the Osttruppen there. That might be a bit costly. Panzerfaust in the half-track, almost got it, but half-track could get them in return. There we go. Got that one hammering away into the German Osttruppen there. Osttruppen, there's a section there, section moving up towards the eastern point there. Bit of skirmishing around here as well. Osttruppen has a section. Light versus heavy cover, the section's definitely got that one won. The 2-2 could swing things a bit further around there for Lenfer. Bunker yet to be upgraded. I mean, he's got the munitions, so it's just a matter of just, you know, pressing the button, but I guess he's, you know, preoccupied with frontline messes. There we go. Nice work. Section right by the 2-2, half taking down repairs here. Note he's moving it up here to basically repair and grab the point at the same time. That way, trying to do a bit of multitasking, you know, efficiency there. Not bad at all. Lenfer following up with another MG42 to contain the British infantry. Not bad at all. Might, of course, also be a bit concerned about the potential of assault sections, in which case having some extra machine guns to prevent those from doing too much harm there to his troops, in particular since they're Osttruppen, would be a very good investment. To do their routing in the section. Bit of skirmishing on the west point, the MG42 almost down there for Lenfer. Seizing the eastern fuel point here. There we go, second MG42 out there for Lenfer. Grab the centre point with it as well, and that's going to definitely rout any British infantry trying to charge ahead. Of course, a half-tech could quickly turn around. Now we got Chtholly going for a Vickers machine gun, so certainly a sharp increase in the machine guns. Engaging at max range, probably to avoid, you know, just charging and then getting hit with the incendiary piercing rounds. We could quickly take out the half-tech here. Which of course makes a ton of sense, but there you go, pack 4 landing a hit. Oh, Chtholly, I think, isn't quite realising what's going on. He's going to lose the half-track. Oh, got lucky there. That was close for Chtholly. Would have been great there for Lenfer, though, if he'd been able to knock out that half-track really fast, but bit of rubbish like there. Gave Chtholly's half-track a second lease on life, or Lend Lease on life, if you will. Ha ha ha. Tech up there for Morcerf, aka Lenfer. 54 sitting up on the west side. Half-track moving in, heavily damaged, but then again we can surprise the half-2 here with it. Can do a lot of damage, so you can see. Though it is taking a lot of damage as well. So perhaps not quite as ingenious there as initially hoped for. In these, perhaps Osttruppen has a section here, and further here as well, but Osttruppen has another section. Or will those look to be losing engagement? There we go, one retreating already. And most can buy time here against, you know, Chtholly, but slowing down the infantry going elsewhere where more important bits could be happening. No sign of upgrades yet further. And nothing further happening in the base either. Could consider mortar though. A bit of Chtholly, I think, could go a long way versus Lenfer's machine guns and Pack 40 for that matter. But no sign of that yet. Slow advance here, but Chtholly needs for the Osttruppen are doing a good job. Then just slowing down Chtholly's advance. buying time for whatever else Lenfer wants to do. There goes section rather than before in the west. Good work there. Pack 40 moving up. 6 panic on the way there for Chtholly. Half track in really big need of repairs again. Section rather in the east. Section there could have probably backed up. We got machine gun in the center. I probably want to use it more effective to support the other troops, a bit like Lenfer. But as you might notice, it's just parking around the center, which is technically just covering this small spot of terrain rather than trying to actually more deal with infantry in a more aggressive fashion. So I feel like that's less efficient. As you might notice, there again certainly stands out there compared with Lenfer's use of the machine guns, which has so far again been very active, very much on point. Much more German. Of course, Chtholly's not playing as the Germans, but there might be a few lessons to be learned there. And there you go, we got an assault infantry section up there. Thompsons and Sten guns. That's going to be a problem there for the infantry if they can get close. That, of course, is where the machine guns come in to ensure they don't get close. Lenfer's got it all figured out. And we go to the flanking the Vickers, punishing Chtholly for just parking about there. Moving up the eastern side, going to make a push there for the eastern fuel point as the western one has been lost here to Lenfer and the German army. Nothing further happening here. I'm probably just going to try and go for arm and push out some tanks there versus Lenfer as fast as possible. Of course, Lenfer is already ahead here of Chtholly, having controlled the fuel points a bit better. Another Vickers. Interesting. That's going to be a lot of suppressive firepower then from both sides. I would say Chtholly there with 2 Vickers and a half. That's going to have a lot more of it. The volume doesn't necessarily matter unless you're using it also well, and that's certainly, I think, where Lenfer has the advantage. He's been using his machine guns much more efficiently. Now we got S-mounts on the central road point as well. Very good. Assault section rooming out there for King Country. Up north here, section versus Osttruppen. Pioneers a bit as well. Might want to bring up some supporting fire. No mines here from Chtholly, though checking 4 mines there from Lenfer. And the 16th Luftwaffe Division section is going to have to retreat. We got a big push there. Then we got the half-time moving in, but we also got the 2-2-2. Things are getting very dicey here, very rapidly. Need to cover that with a half-track. One wrong move and it could get lit on fire very fast. There we go. Pack shoots, misses. Half-track's not moving. Virtually 2 game, but it's not going to make it. In fact, moving straight to the line for the pack. And there we go. Half-track down. Bit of a blow there to Chtholly and the British army. The right flank is already collapsing on the firepower here from the German army. Vicker setting up here. Section on the right flank here, covering the fuel pump, but also making it hard for the German infantry to grab the eastern victory point. Push to the centre. We got mines for there, clearing up more. Some of the mines, at least looking to. Nope, no mine moving onwards. Vicker setting up there. Assault section going to go for deep flank there against Lenfer. That's a very good move there. It's a shame it took so long, but I like the idea here. Troops being sawn apart here by heavy machine gun fire there from Chtholly. And sadly, in this case, runs an issue. And now there's another issue, of course. The minesweepers aren't around any longer, and the 2S minefields are still active. Bit of a blunder there for Chtholly. It's going to be an expensive one. Not as expensive as it could have been, it turns out, but still, that's a bit nasty then. Definitely shows how S-mines can be good. A bit more luck there for Lenfer, a bit more bad luck for Chtholly, and that could have been a wipe there fully. Bit of skirmishing on the right hand side. We got Osttruppen as a section there. 6 point turning about, but a bit too slow, Almost got that 2-2 with a 6-point gun hit, but not quite waking up. Machine gun forced to retreat. Chtholly feeling the heat of the German army here. No tech up still. Assault section there reinforcing once more. Sappers moving up again. Bit late to the party there. Back here we got straight move for tier 4 here for Lenfer. Had figured maybe tier 3 just building in case, but possibly decided due to whatever circumstances that it's actually not unnecessary. At least he has it as a backup. But wants something else. Got a wipe though. Took out a machine gun. That's actually pretty good there for Chtholly. That puts Chtholly at 3 machine guns against Lenfer's now 1. And of course, while it's good to use machine gun, actually you shouldn't just be leaving it out that far on its own with absolutely no support either. That was probably a thing where Lenfer might have gotten a tad overconfident, but we'll have to see. There's Trouble Flamethrower punch moving in. Of course, even as a suppressed, the thinking about machine guns is wiped. They're AoE weapons, so while normal suppressing, basically slows down some of his infantry because, again, they're very much reliant on accuracy, it doesn't actually slow down the flamethrowers a lot, since, while of course they will reload slower, they still pretty much will always just land some really damaging hits fast. That's a bit of an important detail to keep in mind. Still, MD42 there's pretty big for Chtholly nonetheless. Again, I mean, it's just a machine gun nod to Lenfer, which is always good. And there you go, Osttruppen being shredded here, in particular with no cover. The machine gun here is going to be absolutely devastating there for Lenfer. White phosphorus laying down here from the section that's trying to launch further up there. Nice move. Also got finally take up there. Lenfer, I imagine it's not far from the heavy Panther Core. Could go straight for a Panther here or something else. Machine gun there right on the Osttruppen. We got light machine guns up there, and that's also probably a reason to go for it. Just heavier weaponry on the Osttruppen. Certainly making much more formidable opponents here for Chtholly's infantry. Machine gun almost got the assault section, but ends at retreat. We'll have to see what Chtholly goes for first. I mean, could go for the M10, depending what worries them in terms of tanks. But there you go, heavy Panther Core halfway done. Could probably go quickly for a Panther, and that would probably also be the wiser decision now, I think, from Lenfer. Panther gun is falling out there for Lenfer as well. Some heavier assault infantry to back up the Osttruppen. That's also a very good idea. Pushing straight for both fuel points. That's a really good move. And again, with more machine guns to sort of control the terrain, it's going to be a bit harder there for Lenfer to pull through. That's also likely where the Panther gun is come through, because the Osttruppen, even with light machine guns, aren't exactly amazing assault infantry. And with the loss of the machine gun, Lenfer does lack some proper support. We need to retreat the machine gun there though for Chtholly, section most of the Osttruppen. Sees an eastern fuel point, cutting off first there as well. Very good. 6-pounder gun in a pretty exposed position. And the machine makes out the section needs to retreat though. At the same time, the section there flanking the Pioneers. Very good work. There could be quite costly here for Lenfer. Pioneers going down would be pretty big there. And there you go, White Flame for a lost. Not handed over there to Chtholly, so I guess that's a small brief relief there for Lenfer, but that does mean he's going to have less stuff to repair with. Still needs to clear out the S-mines. I can't help but feel like Chtholly is overlooking those to, well, Lenfer's great benefit. Still, Chtholly here is beginning to mount more of a comeback against Lenfer, having had a bit of a weaker early mech game due to Lenfer's excellent use of the Osttruppen machine guns. But there you go, Gebaude Landung, assault section, realising they're out assaulted here by the Panzergrenadiere, are forced to fall back to slightly more defensible position, but the question is, can they maintain cohesion? And, well, no, they can't. 6-pounder gun, no, just clearing out the S-mines. I guess that's one way of using it. Back here, troops reinforcing, gonna need some healing as well. Could go for the Cromwell or the Centaur, though I'd definitely recommend a Cromwell or possibly an M10. As for Lenfer, a bit of manpower bleed there, but can definitely go for a Panther in a few moments. Cromwell on the way there for Chtholly. Is Chtholly though expecting a tier 4? I mean, Chtholly has seen absolutely nothing in terms of armour from Lenfer. So I mean, the expectation should probably be there's something big coming the way of the 11th armour tier. Section moving up, Savage moving in as well, they're close to veterans you want. Awesome routed. Sappers versus the MD42 there. Section machine gun moving in there. Veteran to 1 bar on the MD42 already. Very good work there by Chtholly. Sappers there, they need to get out there fast. Minesweeper was up for Lenfer. He is worried about Chtholly laying down mines. So Chtholly, interesting enough, has not been laying down any at all, which is worth noting. Almost ace level in the assault section. No, cancels the Cromwell. Cancels the Cromwell. What is Chtholly thinking? Spell association into either Churchill to Comets. Fireflies? I mean, it seems a bit strange to just cancel the Cromwell out of nowhere, but I guess we might be missing out on something there. Lenfer, very close to the Panther. Very close. But what Chtholly is planning is a bit of an enigma at the moment. And sadly, I don't have the decoder for it. Osttruppen there being routed by the section machine moving in as well, fighting more furiously for the fuel point. He could consider a white phosphorus grenade here to cover up the assault section.
One of our anti-tank guns is gone.
Oh, that's a bit of loss. The anti-tank lost here by close to Chtholly's base. Done a nice push there while the Panther is going for the cutoff point first. Very nice play there. Realised that the centre was actually quite open. Very good read there. What is Chtholly planning though? Manpan fuel there being floated. Okay, Cromwell again. Sniper on the way for Lenfer. Curious so close to that Panther or anything like that, and just decides to go for something else instead. Might be reading off here on Chtholly's perhaps indecision and trying to sort of come up with something to exploit that a bit better. We'll have a see. Send us some interesting mind games. Then there you go, punches right here with the section. Also got sector artillery now available here for Lenfer. Machine gun versus machine gun here. British machine gun losing out. Osttruppen in the catching the section there. In a pretty bad spot actually for Chtholly. Lenfer I think could also put more pressure on the right flank, and we got more mines down here from Lenfer. Telemines. So good. I definitely feel like something should be happening with that heavy panzer costume besides just being built. Okay, cancels the Cromwell again. Now goes for Anvil and Churchill. Palmer would love to see in the comment, but in the end, Chtholly there feels more, I don't know, secure, I suppose, with the Churchill heavy tanks. So that's where we're going. Down Churchill Avenue. Season Eastern Fuel Point there. Got S mines going down as well. Very good active mining there by Lenfer. Thumbs up there. Chtholly needs, I think, to mount for a counterattack fast and sort of launch a shattering blow there against Lenfer. Trying to catch him off guard. I feel like going triple barrel in these and not leaving him any option for artillery, I think, is a bit of a mistake there by Chtholly. Should have probably gone for at least one pyrotechnic supply so he'd just be calling in artillery at times to Lenfer and just disrupt him at the very least. So I feel like that's a bit of a potential upside. There he goes. Assault take charge at the Pioneers. Hosing them down there with Thompsons and stem guns. We could see wipe here. Guards are wiped there. Another Pioneer squad gone. Bit of blow there to Lenfer. And Routed Churchill tank. They're done here. Mort Lenfer can't go for the Panther once it hits. In fact, he'd like to go for one now, I guess. But we could have one out sooner, meaning the Churchill does get a slight head start here on it. Which could prove a bit uncomfortable there for Lenfer. I'll wait Churchill Mark 7 infantry tanks sitting out. Churchill enforcing healing. Weapon maxing up there for Chtholly as well. Could have definitely had that out sooner as well, besides just mines. Bit of a nose sight there. Earlier Bren guns, but have been quite potent here versus Lenfer. But it's still going to be potent, but a bit more. Wait, what? Is that rock floating? That just looked like it was floating. And his pack shoots there, bounces off the Churchill tank's heavy armor. I think that's something like roughly 150mm. They were heavily armoured. Panther almost done. 300 points left here for Chtholly versus Lenfer's 383. Need to do something about that soon. And there we go. Panzerkampf almost done there for Lenfer. Almost. Bit closer. Churchill rushing trade ahead. Needs support though. Proper support. Could take out the anti-tank gun there. Lenfer might not have been quite ready for the Churchill after all. Without that Panther. Oh, Churchill misses. Almost got the pack run. Almost got Osttruppen main forcing the Churchill to fall back. Infantry following up. Here with the machine gun support. Anti-tank support a bit further, but holding back. Panther arrives here from Lenfer moving from the north, engaging the Churchill. From the side, very good. And we got sector artillery called in to try and disrupt here Chtholly's assault through the area here. Very good call in there by Lenfer. Barely get to see it, but here we are. And I don't think Chtholly's quite realised what's going on there. Got artillery raining down. Heavy machine casualties amongst the machine gun crews there. Breaking off the assault most likely. Could try and swing through the west instead. I think that'd be a much better move there by Chtholly. And now we got Lenfer there heading, in fact, from the west behind Chtholly's advance. They're going for the flank there. Nice counterplay there by Lenfer on top of the sector artillery. Catching Chtholly's assault there pretty much in a big vice. Just trying to squeeze the very life out of Chtholly and the British Army. Panther shoots, misses. More penetrating hit there on the Churchill tank. Back here, troops reinforcing. Another penetrating hit. The Churchill is not doing well here versus the Panther at the moment. Big push here into the Osttruppen with a lot of sections, with a lot of Bren guns. In fact, just shredding them. Casualties rapidly piling up in the face of a wall of British fire. Quick self-repair there on the Churchill tank for Chtholly. 6-pounder gun more on the way. Also got heavy sappers out there, of course, for more machine guns. Sniper retreating. Sneaking out there, hoping to catch something about the center victory point, but there's no anything there from Lenfer except the Panther and these sections. You know, however heavily armed, we can't deal with that. Another hit there on the Panther from the 6-pounder gun section. They're close being wiped out. Need to retreat fast before Lenfer actually does just decide to annihilate them. We got 383 versus 195. Chtholly needs to put a bit more effort there against Lenfer and the 16th Luftwaffe will be shown here. Churchill tank still need repairs. Not enough munitions for another vehicle crew repairs. Need to get the sappers on it. The problem is the sappers are preoccupied elsewhere. More sappers in this regard could then be a good investment there for Chtholly. And the 11th Armoured. Since one of the better rules of Samson when it comes to getting attacks going fast, it's usually best to have like 2 sappers, pioneers, engineers, or whatever, just speed up the repairs. I mean, the more time they're spending off the battlefield, the worse it is for you, since they're just doing nothing. You don't want units being nothing, and particularly not your tanks. Panzer on the way there for Lenfer. Churchill attempting self-repaired again. I mean, that's definitely also one way of doing it, though it can quickly get a bit expensive in the long run, and second crew are wiped out. Also, there's the section, though, it's a machine gun that got wiped out. Actually, right at the edge of the base there for Chtholly, that's pretty lucky. Nobody else got anything and they wiped out. Oh, yeah. Almost loose. Oh, and the Osttruppen got wiped, dropping a light machine gun. Can any of Chtholly's infantry pick that up? Actually, the assault section can. Possibly the heavy sappers. Yup. Well, obviously, if Chtholly does it, but I would certainly say it's a bit of a mistake there not to. Still should try and put some pressure on the west. We've got Osttruppen in there with sandbags. Could maybe consider some bunkers or something else. Then maybe some S-mines. Section in the centre there. This assault section right against the Panther in the 2-2. Ace little bar in the 2-2. Good work there by Lenfer. Churchill tank good to go once more, having initiated numerous self-repairs. As the damn sappers couldn't be asked to do it. Churchill tank sitting out there. Shoots and misses. Great hit here from the Panther on the Churchill side. Not good. And these we've got to push there for the fuel pump with the Pioneers again. Could even lay down more S-mines to make it harder there for Chtholly to meet the counter-attack. And there you go. Panther unleashing hell here from the German position onto the bridge. They're going to tank and crew. Their fans have caught in a heavy rocket barrage. Paul Lewis obliterated. No one's probably picked up that MD-42. Pioneers going to fire there from the sections.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Churchill taking the fire from the Panther, landing several nice hits. So we got 3 kills on. Another hit there from the Pack 40. Pushing the Churchill tank down to half health. We got the Osttruppen there on the flank, and we got the Panthers down to heavy fire. Three kills on the Panther. Close of it since one going here straight for the Churchill tank. Feeling quite safe against Chtholly's armour. And there you go. In these, we've got sector assault here to break up Chtholly's assault. Will Chtholly realize what's going on? Because in essence, this could also be serving as bait. There's a distraction. I mean, there's a chance Chtholly's unit. There we go. Retreat. Oh! Lucky here. Realising time was going on before the units got obliterated by too many artillery barrages. But, no, the Churchill tank is trying to pop self-repair. A desperate measure here by Chtholly. Problem is, the Panther can actually damage it fast enough. Even with the self-repairs going on. And since they're shooting, some are hitting, and most are missing. As you might be noticing, a lot of them are missing. Got a machine gun crew wiped out again. And the Churchill is down. A notable blow there for Chtholly and the British Army. The 11th Armoured Division is starting to encounter some severe resistance here from the Germans. The 16th Luftwaffe Division has proven to be a much more formidable opponent than the Allied Army was expecting. MD-42 to carrying up there. Pioneers retreating. Panther there halfway to Division 2, very good. Of course, the Luftwaffe Field Division would have access to Panthers. And any Panthers would have been from a nearby Panzer Division, in which case, most likely the 21st Panzer Division. Section they're getting obliterated by the Panzerwerfers. Also, any Panzerwerfers in the service of the 21st Panzer Division would have likely been some more homebrewed versions by Baustab Becker or Building Staff Becker, which used French half-tracks but then mounted Katyusha rockets on the back of them instead. Which I imagine they got off the Waffen-SS because the Waffen-SS were for some reason very interested in the Katyusha rockets and actually copied them, would actually make their own Panzerwerfers with Katyusha rockets instead of the usual sort of Nebelwerfer rocket mounting. Little fun fact there. Machine gun bunkers up to cover the centre there. Pack 40 holding back. Big push here with assault section, sappers and regular sections. Panzer with the Osttruppen there guarding the way. Quick focus down the assault section. They try to push through all the farm. We got Band Grenade off as well there. We got the White Fozzer's grenade, but the assault section has suffered quite grievously in the process. In the centre machine gun bunker, they're stopping Chtholly's machine gun. Machine guns are coming the east side here, sniping about. We got 12 kills in that one. 74 points left for Chtholly and the British Army. Pioneers are routed and backing up if they're going there for Chtholly. Lenfer could probably call in more armour easily at this point. A bunch of Osttruppen could probably do the job, to be honest. Or Sturmpanzer. In the east we got section there duking out with the machine gun, almost taking out the bastards. But not quite, not quite. Strength of 90-42 here, 13 kills, veteran 3. Ace level machine gun crew. Hosing down the Tommies with good German lead. Machine gun bunker there finding himself the target of the wrath here of Chtholly's anti-tank guns. Quickly done, very good. Still, Chtholly's situation is looking pretty grim here in the face of German army operations. And then again, I feel like he could just go for whatever he wants to, really, but he's just deciding he doesn't want to go for anything, I guess. I'm guessing Chtholly's trying to set up for another Churchill tank here. I think that's not entirely responsible there. I mean, the victory point situation is pretty grim. Could go for it, but you know, could also just go for something that might be a bit faster so to do anything there to Lenfer. Section of Reliable, the 2-2 to the Panther. In the west here, we got a big push there, but hold of the machine here from Chtholly. Very good work, very good work. So now there's a section. We got 16 kills now, 17. Another White Phosphorus grenade there from Chtholly. Wraps the Panzer Grenadier. Bit of respite there, but is it enough? We're down to 36 though. There's a 383 there for Chtholly. And there we go, Sturmpanzer for Lenfer. Sturmpanzer almost done. Machine gun there getting hammered the 2-2 in the Osttruppen. Sniper there with 18 kills, another Churchill for Chtholly. Seems very dogmatic at this point. Panzer barrage unleashed against the British positions. In this case, they're anticipating a push there, but bit off with a guess there. Bit off. Sturmpanzer almost done there though for Lenfer. 380 versus 31. Osttruppen there getting absolutely pummeled there by heavy machine gun fire there, and light machine gun there from Chtholly. LMG 42 by still yet to be picked up by Chtholly. That definitely feels like a bit of an oversight. Around the centre victory point. 25, 23. Sturmpanzer moving in, 21. Anti-tank guns a bit rather behind there. Sniper joining in the fun there for Lenfer in the east. Push going in the machine gun section, of course the Churchill tank, but there's certainly a bunch of Germans that could buy enough time here for Lenfer just to do what he wants to. Both shots from the anti-tank guns bounce off the Sturmpanzer Fierce armour. Sniper there with 23 kills. Troops there being flanked and routed. 10 points left. Troops moving up. They got the troops moving up. The Panther, I imagine, also slowly inbound. While the Panzers are clearing out the anti-tank and opening out the western victory point again. Ace level Panzer Grenadier. They're very good, very good. Assault section moving up, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure that's going to work out fully at this point. Anti-tank crew there wiped out. Other one's going to go down. Assault section staying at range here, which the Defensive should be doing, but they're not when they're actually trying to maybe get close to the Panzer and deal with them. And he's got the Cho tank here with the Panther. 3 points left here for Chtholly. Sturm Panzer shoots, bases. Panzer there hosing down the assault section. 2 men left. And GG, game over, lost for Chtholly, a victory for Lenfer and the German army. A nice display there, what you can do with Defensive and the Osttruppen, but also just good use of the machine gun to felt proved crucial here for Lenfer at 2 times versus Chtholly. Chtholly, while had some good moves here, and then particularly sort of recovered by the mid game, I think struggled a bit with just constantly attacking from the same direction, and also could have used tech a bit better. I feel like the tech choices he made by Chtholly were a bit inefficient, and perhaps not quite responding too much to what actually is going on the battlefield. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Links, cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another exciting episode. Bye.